Looking in the mirror, what do you say? Hey everybody, what's up? It's been a long time since I've made a video and felt compelled this morning when I rolled out of bed to do so. Something kind of that I've been experiencing, and I just wanted to share. What do I mean when I say looking in the mirror? If you're watching this, it's because you are on the spiritual journey. Something inside of you is pushing you to uncover your own power. One thing that I've learned this year especially is the true power that lies within can only be unleashed, unlocked, accessed when we're willing to take a look in the mirror. Because in fact, every problem you have, every conflict, everything on the outside that you don't like, comes right back to you. And I know some of you are not going to like hearing that. Actually, hearing this may even really piss you off. But that'll just point out that's something that you need to work on. I came to this conclusion, I would say it was probably about a year ago now. It was like a bomb went off in my life. You know, every single thing that could have gone wrong did. I wasn't happy with my financial situation. I was barely making ends meet. I was having conflict at work with my boss. I was having conflict with my ex-husband, which although most people will say, hey, that's the norm, that wasn't the reality that I wanted. Even though we weren't together anymore as a couple, I didn't want to toss away 15 years of a relationship out the window with anger and ugly words, and that's exactly the road we were headed down. I wasn't happy with my creative life. First of all, I wasn't creating very much, and then when I was creating, I wasn't happy with the quality of what I was creating. And I really wasn't sharing it with anyone. Many of my friendships were in serious conflict. At some point I realized, what's the common denominator here? I am. This started the process of me making a list of all the things in my life that I was not happy about. A detailed list. And then when I was done generating this list of miserable things that I was complaining about, things that I was complaining about internally to myself throughout the day, and things I was complaining externally about to other people. When I was done making up this list, I then claimed that I had somehow, whether on a conscious or unconscious level, created every single one of those things. And at first, I really resisted it. It was really hard for me to face that truth. Once I did, it took me probably, I would say, about a half an hour. I felt it. I felt myself own it. Once I was able to do this, there was a shift, a window, an opening. Well, if I created all of this, then I can fix it. Then I have the power to fix it. We don't create these things realizing what we're doing to ourselves. But hey, man, I believe that this life is nothing more than an obstacle course for our spirit, our soul. And that's just my outlook on it. I'm not saying you need to adopt that outlook. But I believe we set up these challenges for ourselves so that we can overcome them. But we can't overcome anything, nothing, until we are no longer victims to it. And the only way to not be victimized by something is to realize you are the one doing it. You're the perpetrator and the victim. It's like you've got two different sides to yourself, okay? And they're playing off of each other. And if you allow these two sides to exist without acknowledging the other, it's gonna F your life up. There's really no other way for me to pretty it up for you. You will continue to go in circles. The victim is going to blame the perpetrator, and the perpetrator will blame the victim. But you see, the victim isn't going to blame you, the perpetrator. The victim is going to blame an outside perpetrator. Society at large, a family member, mommy and dad weren't good to me. You know, the government, the list goes on. My boss doesn't treat me fair. Some outside circumstance that is responsible for the victim's misery. The perpetrator, look at it as the criminal, the inner criminal that is going around speaking, saying, and doing things that are going to have a negative result. For every action, there's a reaction. There's a scientific explanation behind this stuff. This isn't just some flighty spiritual philosophy. With every action you take, there is a direct reaction, something that happens. Many times we'll take the same negative action and expect a different reaction. Your life is your own experiment. Treat it that way. Understand that you have the power. The perpetrator uses his power in a very negative way. Very careless. Planting seeds in their life that they are not going to like harvesting. And that's when the victim steps in. You get my point? So if you look in your outside life and there's a bunch of things there that you don't like, the only way that you're going to be able to change any of it is to go take a look in the mirror and first of all, compassionately claim that you created all of it. Then come up with your solutions. I can say from my own experience now of applying this method that it works. Now, does that mean that I'm still not creating reactions that I don't necessarily like? I still do, however, I catch it quick now. So that when my little victim flares up, boo-hoo, this person said or did this thing to me and that's why I'm upset, I can turn right around and see where my perpetrator planted that seed for that exact thing to happen. Now guess what? I'm not upset with that person outside of me. I'm not even upset with myself. I understand that it's a process. That training myself to take ownership is not easy, because we've actually been raised in a very different paradigm. We've been taught that everything is outside of us and we are just reacting to it. You live in a world that you are creating. Quit looking outside yourself for all the things to be fearful of, for all the things to be angry about, for all of the things to push against. I'm not saying to be blind. What I am saying is to use the majority of your energy to look at the things that you are creating and refine, refine, refine. You will watch your life transform faster than I can say transformation. It happens that quick. When you can be the outside observer, this is where that power comes. Many times, I will not even see the seeds that my perpetrator planted until it flares up a reaction in my victim. It's just the way it is. Everything is a reflection, a mirror back. So it's getting very comfortable with looking at yourself as the creator of everything that you like and everything that you don't like. You know, it's real easy to claim the things that you like. Oh yeah, I created that. That's all on me. I love that. That's awesome. I'm making money. I love my job. I'm a talented artist. Look at me, look at me. I created that. Then a bomb goes off in our life and a bunch of bad things happen. Oh, no, no, that wasn't me. That was him. That was her. That was them. It's all about your perception. When you realize how powerful you actually are and how much control you actually have on your outside experience, it begins being impossible not to live from a place of honor. Telling that little white lie that you could get away with. You don't get away with anything. Nothing. Every action has a reaction. Just remember that. The eye of God is within you, seeing it all. There is no escaping it. You're not being judged. There's just going to be a reaction to whatever it is that you are choosing to do. So that's my message for you on this Friday. And I hope that you are able to take some pieces of it and apply it so that you can break the cycle of the victim and the perpetuator in your world. Take a look in the mirror and claim your own power. Namaste.